This just in. The Witch's Magic Murder and Mystery Podcast. The podcast.
On the 8 o'clock news.
Hi.
Stay tuned.
Stay
tuned for an updated weather report.
Hello, friends.
I would be the worst weather reporting person ever.
The thing you have to do
Meteorologist.
with it backwards and the blue
Green
screen.
Blue
Whatever.
screen?
It's a green screen. You're correct.
Hey guys.
Just talk like I know things.
Because we do.
Hi guys.
It's Witch's Magic Murder and Mystery Podcast here.
We forgot to say it on the last episode. We're happy that you know where you are.
Welcome.
I'm Megan.
I'm Kara.
And we're here for the podcast today.
We are.
It's a Kara story.
It's Kara's time.
I'm so excited.
Okay. This is a murder.
Okay.
And it's an interesting one. And it's going to make you hate
Those are the
this
kind
man
we like.
so much.
What if we just told really boring stories?
Let's do it.
This person just fell over and died.
This person lived to be 113.
That would actually be interesting.
Yeah. Their story probably is
It's
pretty
probably
great.
a pretty good one. I guess you can make any story interesting.
I think we could, for sure.
Someone just commented on our Instagram that they listened to the Elizabeth Bathory episode and they were happy that we portrayed her like both sides, not just as she was some
good.
vampire, you know. But she was like, I really was in her because she lives there and lives near there, and she was
We're
like,
here for that.
Yeah, I know, I love it. And she was like, I did enjoy how you butchered all the Hungarian names.
Because we butcher everything.
I was like, yeah, we butcher names in every language.
Words. Yeah.
It's fine.
Like,
I don't know how people let us talk sometimes, but here we are with
here
podcast.
we are, and 39 episodes later. Mm-hmm. Will this be 39?
And almost 90,000 listens. Isn't that fun?
What kind of reel are we gonna make for
I don't know.
100?
I don't know.
Because we're almost there.
I know. Probably maybe not with this episode, but in a couple weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Because we have a surprise for you next week. I don't want to say what it is.
No.
Just maybe hang around your podcast app on Tuesday. On Tuesday.
Going up on a Tuesday.
Perfect. Okay. So Kara has a murder story.
Yes. Okay, so Ken McElroy, born in 1934. He was the 15th of 16 kids.
Did you lose something? Good Lord. No, I just always have that moment where I'm like, did I hit record? Are we actually recording?
Are we here for
I'm
real?
going to do that no matter how long we do this, forever. I'm always going to have that moment where I think I've screwed everything up.
We were 9 million followers in.
I'll be like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
What we're doing, guys.
When am I going to be a grown-up?
Yeah. He was the 15th of 16 children.
His poor mom. Like, did she, like, all to one mom?
Yeah.
Can you imagine being pregnant 16 times?
And, unfortunately, they were a poor migrant farming couple.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being pregnant 16 times?
No, my womb.
I need to freshen up my womb here. I can't. You know how there are people who are like, pregnancy is a magical miracle and it's glorious. I hated literally every moment.
I puked for like 6
I was
or 7 of the
miserable.
9 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved parts of it. But
I never got, people were like, she's glowing. No one ever said that to me.
Okay, listen, when I was pregnant with Soph, I was in, I think it was like Walmart or something, getting a beach towel because I was going swimming with my girlfriends. I was like 8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
This kid runs up to me, whoa, beach whale, look out. I was like, his mom comes up,
Who are your
covers
parents?
his mouth, runs off, and she's like, I'm so fucking sorry. And took off, and I was like, I'm going to drop kick this kid in the aisle.
I remember a woman coming up to me when I was pretty far along with Ella at the mall, and she was like, you look miserable. I was like, thanks, I am.
I am very much
Have a good day.
I hope you're blessed.
So, if you're pregnant and you don't think it's amazing, it's okay.
It's okay to think
I
that.
mean, I love my kids. You all, if you know me well at all, I'm obsessed with my kids. I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
But the being pregnant part nearly killed me, literally.
Yeah.
So, not a fan.
Not a fan.
Okay, back to the lady who did it 16 times.
16 times. Man, she was a champ. Okay, but he dropped out of school at the age of 15 in the 8th grade. And after he dropped out, it didn't take long for him to fall into a life of delinquency. It all started with hunting raccoons, which escalated into petty crime until he became a full-fledged criminal. Pretty early on, he decided that like making an honest living wasn't going to work for him, but he wanted like all the material possessions and that lifestyle. So he began to steal, because that's what you do if
Right.
you're like, I
want all this stuff. I don't want to work for it.
working my butt off just isn't doing it, so I'm just gonna.
I mean, haven't we all been there?
That petty crime.
Who doesn't feel that way?
Petty crime. So
Again, I just always have these moments where I'm like, did I screw all of it up? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Hey, YouTube.
hey, we're here for this.
I always say hey to YouTube whenever we have like a dumb moment in the
I know,
pod.
and
It's like,
we,
oh,
just,
hey, YouTube.
we both just kind of like stare at the YouTubers. YouTubers, like
the
we're
YouTube.
Them
They're on
YouTubers.
on the
On the-
YouTube.
on
the
the
YouTube
YouTube.
and the Me Tube. The Everybody Tube.
We're a mess today. Woo! Okay, so he wasn't. Listen though, he wanted that lavish lifestyle, but he wasn't like stealing the things he wanted. He was stealing like livestock.
Maybe
Yeah.
to sell?
Yep. Well, yeah, because it was around, they had like a small town 90 minutes north of Kansas City. So in the night, he would pull up next to farmers' hog pens and take the animals he could sell at auction to third parties. Yeah. He leased his own land and trafficked hunting dogs, which he was great at training.
He's like a jack of all trades.
Yeah, but he usually had like tons of cash because of these
All
situations.
the stealing.
Yes.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. But he was also known as a womanizer. For more than 2 decades, he was suspected of being involved in theft of grain, gasoline, alcohol, antiques, and livestock. He avoided conviction when charges were brought against him 21 times after witnesses refused to testify because he intimidated them by following the people to the parking lot or their homes, and he would watch them.
He seems like a terrible dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what in
Yeah.
the world?
Yeah.
So he was 15th of 16th, which means he was the second to youngest?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would think us middle children would be the
Yeah.
the feisty
But
ones.
maybe when there's 16 kids, the child psychology, like birth order thing goes out the window. Because, like,
yeah. Where do you stand
nobody
in
gets
that?
attention.
Where do
Like-
you stand? Yeah, you're raising yourself.
Who
at that
are your
point.
parents?
Yes. Yeah.
somebody's going to write in and be like, I had 15 kids and my childhood was perfect.
I did great.
It's okay for us to talk badly about him because we don't like him.
We don't like him at all, and you won't either. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he had a great defense attorney, unfortunately, for everybody. He would use every legal maneuver at his disposal to get hearings postponed or delayed. And so the longer it took for the trial to go on, all the charges would just be dropped because people would be like, I don't have time for this. So defendants who had been assaulted or who were witnesses, they would see, like I said, they'd start seeing the guy parked outside their houses or hear shotguns going off in the middle of the night near their homes.
Oh my gosh.
So he and his little like cohorts, his like dog trafficking cohorts would
what
be
year
out there.
are we in? Like 40s? Something
Yeah.
like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But listen, he fathered more than 10 children with different women. Yeah. He met his last wife, Trina, who was alive from 57 to 2012, when she was 12 and in the 8th grade. He raped Trina and she became pregnant.
See how we don't like him. We
Yeah.
don't like him.
We don't like him at all. When she was 14. She dropped out of school in the 9th grade and went to live with Ken and his second wife, Alice.
I feel like we all need to be, it would be a better place if we could just teach ourselves and our daughters to be a lot choosier about who they sleep with.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to like every boy that likes you.
No.
It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, it really is okay.
No.
Also use a condom.
Especially this dude. Yeah. I don't know. What were the birth control options in the 40s, 50s? I don't even know.
I don't know. Somebody tell us.
Somebody will. Somebody will tell us.
Yep. So then he divorced Alice and married Trina in order to escape the charges of the statutory rape, to which she was the only witness.
Trina, the 14-year-old?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 16 days after Trina gave birth, both she and Alice fled to Trina's mom's house and stepfather's house, and according to court records, Ken tracked them down, brought them back, both of them.
Alice? Why was Alice still even there?
Yeah. He divorced her, but she stuck around.
Alice!
Yeah. Then he returned to train his parents' home when they were away and shot the family dog and burned the house down. Megan's face. Megan's jaw just literally
He
dropped.
already raped their daughter.
Uh-huh.
And now he shot their dog
And yeah, that's the... Yeah.
and then burned the house.
Burn the house down. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So then he came up with a plan to get away with all of this. So she, like I said, he married her. She couldn't testify. He was pissed because he couldn't get her parents' permission.
I was going to ask that is like, how was he able to marry her? But maybe it wasn't.
Yeah. So he just like kept going after them. And his attorney told the Kansas City Star that he represented Ken in 3 or 4 felony charges a year. Like after this arson and stuff. So in 1973, he was indicted for arson, assault, and statutory rape. So he didn't like get away with it. He was arrested, but then listen, released on $2,500 bail. $2,500 for rape, arson, and assault.
Do we know?
No,
Why?
it says...
Why
it
would
just,
they do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But after he got bail, he located his wife and baby and went back at him. Yep. He told the foster... So she had to go stay with foster parents because, she's still a teenager. And he told the foster parents that he would abduct their daughter and then exchange her for Trina. He made this threat stronger by telling the parents that he knew what school their daughter went to in her school bus route home. So additional charges were filed. As per the usual, he got away with it though.
Okay, so he wanted a good life but didn't want to do the things to get it.
Yep.
And that basically is like his...
Yeah.
Like, that's how he thinks forever.
Yeah.
Like, he wants
Yeah.
this girl to be his wife, and so she will be.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No. Oh, my God. Is this the worst person we've ever talked about?
I think so.
I mean, we talked about a lot of bad people.
I mean, the cult and stuff.
Oh, the church.
That was pretty bad.
Oh, dang it.
And then what's her
Just
name?
ruined my whole day again.
What's her name says it? What friend of yours was it that was like, I just can't get over this guy like shaking his wife like a sheet.
I can't remember. Listen, we've got some great comments on some of these episodes.
Okay, so somebody said something. You sent it to me last night, like one of the things, the reviews. Oh, why can't I think of words
The
today?
reviews?
Yep, they were like, we love like all the funny little phrases. Megan and I think that you all need to just start sending these to us.
Yeah, because the one that she said, I was like, I don't even remember saying that.
Yeah.
But then I was like, yep, we did.
Yeah, we did. And
It
it's
was,
so
does
funny.
the devil have parents?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Forgot. I forget the random things that come out of my mouth and your mouth sometimes.
Neat in the kitchen, sloppy in the forest. So, July 1976, he shot a Skidmore farmer by the name of Henry twice after he was charged for firing weapons on this guy's property. The guy survived, and Ken was charged again with assault with the intent to kill.
Okay, I need to move up my timeline. So we're in the 70s now.
Yep.
He was born in the 30s, so now he's like 40.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
Math.
Yeah, numbers. He denied he was on the property or fired the shots. Henry stated that during the case, Ken parked outside his residence 100 times in an attempt to intimidate him. Ken never changed during the trial. He had 2 fellow raccoon hunters testify that he was with them during the time that Henry was shot. So while on the stand, Henry was forced to admit that he had neglected mentioning his own petty criminal record from 30 years ago. So Ken was acquitted.
Can they not see that there's a pattern of really awful behavior with this dude
Yes.
and they should just take any excuse they can?
Uh-huh. So it says that Ken constantly carried a firearm of some kind, either on his person or in, like, you know how they mount them in in the trucks or whatever in the back of them. So it's not unusual in Missouri, but just brandishing it, like, hey, like that.
Look how cool I am. Just so
Or
you know. Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what he did.
Great. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
positive that's what he did.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah. So he had no reservations about like just shoving it in someone's face or stomach just to make his point.
Can you imagine, like, being confronted with a gun that often?
Yeah.
I've never been confronted with a gun in my life, so.
Yeah.
But if someone just, like, on a regular basis shoves a gun in your stomach, like, yeah,
Like, what's wrong with people?
I'd have
Yeah.
problems.
So, hop, skip, and a jump to 1980. One of Ken's children gets into an argument with a grocery store clerk after the child was accused of stealing candy. I wonder if the child...
Where'd he get that
I don't
from?
know.
Oh, he has kids. Though he's somebody's
10.
dad.
10.
He's 10 somebody's dad.
10 somebody's. 10 somebody's
That's
of a
so
dad.
sad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So the child denied it, and Ken took the child's side, of course. So the apple didn't fall far from that tree. And
I wonder what his dad was like.
Yeah. Ken began stalking the clerk's family, the owners of the grocery store. He would eventually confront Ernest Bowenkamp in the back of the store, and Bo was shot in the neck. Yeah.
Did he die?
Well, Ken peeled off in his truck, and a highway patrol corporal named Richard Stratton was alerted to the incident and gave chase. Having hard run-ins with McElroy before, he knew that the man would attempt to get out of the county via an alternative route going through the neighboring Fillmore. He found and arrested Ken, but not before considering he might just get shot, because Ken carried weapons with him, and he's like, this guy doesn't care. He's gonna shoot at me.
I wouldn't want to go near him.
And Ken had previously threatened that he was capable of gunning down the police if he needed to. Yeah. But Bo survived his wound, and Ken was arrested again and charged with attempted murder. So this, obviously is a routine of his, and Ken enlisted his attorney to represent him in the resulting criminal case, and he had asked for and received a change of venue.
His attorney is really good.
Yeah.
Really. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's
Yeah.
annoying, but he is, like, he
Yeah.
keeps getting this guy.
Yeah.
But I guess the other ones, it wasn't necessarily the attorney. It was just the fact that he threatened all the witnesses.
Right. Yeah.
Either way.
Yep. So the attorney had them go to Harrison County, and he prepared a defense that portrayed Bo as the aggressor instead. The store owner, Ken, had claimed that he had approached him, and he had like a knife on him, so he was protecting himself. He had no choice. So he was found guilty of assault at trial, but was out on bail pending an appeal. And once Ken headed to a local bar, the D&G Tavern, he was armed with an M1 Garand, which is a World War II rifle.
Sure. Yeah,
Guns.
I knew that.
He made super scary threats about what he was going to do to Bo once he found him. And he also was just terrifying the bar patrons.
What do you think he's ever fun? Does he ever just like lighten up?
Yeah, are you goofy at all?
Because he seems like his whole thing is just being as like big of a bully as possible
Yeah.
in every possible
Were you
way.
bullied when you were little?
Something
Did your
happened to
siblings
him.
beat
He
you
was
up?
the youngest of six. He was the
Is
second
this
to
like the
youngest of
Joseph's
16.
coat of many colors where they throw him in a pit because he doesn't fit in?
I don't think that's what this is.
Is that the right story? Does
Not-
that out?
You're asking the wrong person about Bible stories. Don't. No.
Okay.
Hardly any.
So they got, like, all the patrons were just fed up with it, and they asked the county sheriff how to handle the matter. The sheriff said for them to form a neighborhood watch party. That's going to solve all our problems.
Oh my gosh.
So his appeal hearing was delayed once again, which led to the average person to wonder what was really going on with the court system in Missouri. People were like, "What? Why does this keep happening? Like,
What
who
is
does
going
he
on in
know?
Missouri?"
What's happening?" So Bo's daughter Cheryl said, "We were so bitter and so angry at the law letting us down that it came to somebody taking matters into their own hands. There were so many nights Dad couldn't go out and mow the yard, water the flowers because there was a truck parked down the street and they were just watching the house. Ken would just sit and glower at you,
Oh my gosh.
just stare at you, and
my
you'd
gosh.
never know what he was thinking."
Are they all going to go after him?
Yeah!
Oh my god, this is the best.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't mean to spoil it, but also
it's so
like
good. It's so good.
I was
Okay.
so happy. Okay.
Yeah, so Ken was known to pay the local kids for information about who was where in town and at what time, so the Bowen camps developed their own network of informants.
Oh my He paid local kids
Yes.
to find. I mean, he's a horrible
He's a horrible person.
Like every single minute
Yeah.
of the day, just spent thinking of ways to be more horrible.
Yeah. So these kids hired by the Bowen camps delivered messages in code. For example, one of the owners of the tavern would send her young children to the grocery store for paper towels, keeping the children innocently unaware that they were telegraphing an urgent message for the Bowen camps to call the police. And Ken was in town and behaving belligerently.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Just a lot of paper
Yeah,
towels.
I know.
We have so many paper towels.
I know. They said we might not see him for 3 or 4 days, and then we'd see him every day for weeks. Everyone was keeping an eye on us. When you didn't know where he was, you didn't dare take a chance of not being on your guard. So after Ken fired the gun outside her house, Evelyn Sumi
Yes.
appealed to David Dunbar, the town marshal. Dunbar talked to him, and Ken pulled a gun on him. She said, so he quit.
So he quit
Yeah.
his job or just quit
I don't know.
big confrontation?
I don't know.
That'd be funny. Like,
Probably-
well, I quit. I'm done. Yeah.
She took her complaint to at the time the county sheriff, Roger Cronk. He just didn't care. She said the sheriff said, if you have to shoot him, let us know and we'll come get him before he starts stinking.
So everybody liked him.
Yes,
He was beloved.
Yeah, he was. So the townspeople who had gathered near the D&G Tavern in the small farming community, July morning could feel the shift in the atmosphere. The fear that once hung over the town's 440 residents, there were only 440 of them.
That's precious.
Yeah.
440.
Yeah, had been replaced by anger.
All terrorized by this one man.
Yeah. So men stood near vehicles that held rifles and shotguns inside. Bank employees and grocery clerks watched from nearby windows. It's like going down.
It reminds me of that scene in Tombstone where they
Yes.
have
Yes. So it said in the article, like it was like a Wild West showdown.
Yeah.
Like it just, so the
everybody
tavern,
knows it's coming.
they said literally the tavern door opened and out stepped Ken, a bulky man, age 47, ragged pair of sideburns, and just glaring at people. It says, to someone passing through this town, Ken may have looked like a strong farmhand, calloused good old boy, but to locals, Ken was a vengeful bully, a thief, and an attempted murderer who eluded any and all attempts to put him behind bars. So he just terrorized the town. And he wasn't ignorant. He knew that the town was angry with him, but he didn't give a shit. So he left the tavern, opened his driver's side door of the Chevy Silverado, and said nothing to any of the residents standing there with guns, standing at the gas station, standing all over. His wife, Trina, climbed in the passenger seat. She said she looked around, and then she looked behind him, and she was the first to see a rifle. As the men gathered, all of them hoisted up to their shoulder, she heard the rear window of the Silverado shatter and saw her husband slump over the steering wheel.
Can you imagine, like, you come out and, like, there's all these people with guns just standing there and you're like,
Meh.
let's go and get in my car. Come on, honey.
Let's go.
I just had a small moment where I felt sorry for him because there's clearly something wrong with me. What's wrong with me?
I mean,
Something really awful must have happened to him, though, to make him this way, right?
I love every time, guys, if you're just now tuning in, anytime that someone has trouble like this and we know that they've had a bad childhood, Megan wants to fix it. And I know it's the psychologist coming out in it.
It's a problem.
But
It's a real problem.
it's an issue.
I mean, but also, like, we can have sympathy for how something is wrong with him.
Yeah.
And also not excuse the behavior. Like,
No.
he's a freaking monster.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
So I don't feel that sorry for him.
Yeah. It says that he was shot at several times and hit twice, once by a centerfire rifle and once by a .22 rimfire rifle. In all, there were 46 potential witnesses to the shooting, including
46.
out of the 440, including Trina, who was in the truck with her husband when he was shot, but no one called for an ambulance. Trina claimed to identify a gunman. Every other witness was either unable to name or claimed to not have seen any shots fired.
Nope. 10% of the town's population's here. None of us saw it.
None of us
What?
saw this thing.
There was a shot fired,
What?
you say?
We were in
I
the-
thought he just
were in the
died
bank.
of natural causes to me.
I mean, a rock must have flown through that car.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm surprised that she identified a shooter. It makes me very curious about her.
So the DA declined to press charges. An extensive federal investigation did not lead to any charges. One local resident later told investigators, when asked what happened, he needed a killing.
He was murdered in front of 40 people and no one pressed any charges?
No one.
Oh my God.
They hated him. It said, if anyone could drive a normally peaceful community to cover up a murder, it was Ken.
It wasn't even much of a cover-up.
No.
It was just in
People
broad
saw it
daylight.
happen. Who has a 22? Oh. Okay.
Great.
Go hide that in your shed for a bit. So from the time Trina was brought in for questioning, she was unwavering in her assertion that she knew who the killer was. She identified a man named Del Clement, who was the one who had held up the rifle first and shot Ken.
Did they give him the keys to the city?
I'm hoping so.
A Medal of Honor?
I'm hoping so. It said Clint had motive. He was part owner of the tavern where Ken just would go crazy and go in there. And it said that Ken also victimized him by livestock heists. Trina told the county's prosecuting attorney, David Baird, that it was Clement. She told FBI investigators, 3 separate grand juries, but she was the only one talking. Local law enforcement and federal officials tried every approach to gather more information. They tried to be nice. They tried to be heavy-handed, like good cop, bad cop. But nobody cared. They insisted no one would be getting in the way with murder, but in broad daylight. But all of the witnesses were just like, no.
Trina's over here like, this guy did it.
This
They're
guy-
like, well, we can't figure out who did it. Nope,
yeah.
this guy right here. Nope.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, it said FBI agents just drove through town constantly, stopped in front of houses, asked people all sorts of questions, constantly would just randomly pop up. They all had the same answer.
Yeah.
So he was buried at Memorial Park Cemetery in St. Joseph, Missouri on July 9th. Trina filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the town of Skidmore. The county of Nottoway, Sheriff Danny Estes, Steve Peters, which was the mayor, and Del Clement, who she accused of being the shooter. And the case was later settled out of court by all parties for the sum of $17,600 with no one admitting guilt. Wow. Yeah. They said that they paid it out because they wanted to avoid costly legal fees should the suit proceed. Trina remarried and moved to Lebanon, Missouri, where she died of cancer on her 55th birthday in 2012. Estes, the sheriff, some people said he was in on the conspiracy, but he's dead, so he can't talk about it now.
He'd have to be in on the conspiracy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anybody who
Yeah.
could enforce anything in that town had to be
Yes. Yeah.
okay with letting it happen.
Yeah.
There were 40 people there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Everybody closed their eyes.
Yeah. Everybody just close
When
your
he
eyes
comes
and
out,
shoot.
close your eyes, count to 10.
Close your eyes and shoot. You heard nothing. So it says that Del Clement, the man that she said was the killer, he died of cirrhosis of the liver in 2009. But he made no deathbed confession. Someone did write a memorial tribute that was he was a good, brave man. And McFadden, the lawyer, once told the New York Times the town got away with murder.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah. So this article said, was justice served? Absolutely not. Murder is still murder, but if tried by a jury of their peers, I doubt anybody around here would have convicted the shooters. They sacrificed one for the betterment of hundreds. Yes, it's against the law, but the law is not the final definitive word on him. The law had plenty of chances, plenty of times to lock him up, which they did.
That's fair.
And it said justice failed everybody. It failed Ken too because it failed to protect him from himself. The justice system just crashed and burned over the case. It was not the kind of justice they should have gotten. 60-year-old Joyce Monty, the Bowenkamp's daughter, told Patch in the telephone interview from her home in Oklahoma. We stood up and did the right thing. We went to the police. We went to the courts. We went everywhere we could, but justice would stay delicately out of the way, she said. Looking back, the justice system had as much to do with killing Ken as anyone in Skidmore did. Our law enforcement never went after him very hard. The son of a bitch would just as soon shoot them as anyone else. So the FBI closed its year-long investigation without returning any indictments. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Kansas announced that the end of its inquiry into the death of the man who had terrorized the small farm town, even though investigators admitted a suspect had been identified. So they said in the end, the FBI said in the end, justice has been served.
Like, just the idea that it was bad enough.
Yeah.
Because, you know, as awful as he was, you still think there'd be some part of you that would feel guilty about murdering somebody. You're still taking somebody's life.
That guy did not take that to the grave. He did not care.
But not just him, but all the people there were like, it's like this moment of like, we're all just committed to like...
It said that there was a town hall, in one of the articles, it said there was a town hall meeting, and Trina was like, oh, there was a conspiracy during the meeting to do this, and everybody was like, no. There was nothing said in this meeting about this, but we all met afterwards and just knew that this needed to happen.
It's the only way to make it stop.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what year was it when he died? It was the 70s?
Yeah.
So he's got a long life ahead of him. I mean, you're looking at another 30 years of this probably.
Yeah.
And if it's your town, you've lived there your whole life.
Right.
I just think of like Lancaster. It's not 400 people, but it's a small town.
Right. I mean,
and if there was some awful person there who was just terrorizing everybody, to the point that like when he's in town, nobody wants to leave their house.
Everybody's carrying guns on their person. Yeah.
You don't want that to be your life.
No.
It's like the whole town was in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
And they goodbye Earled him.
Oh my gosh, yes. Cause I had the time.
Na, 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 na. I just can't, I'm amazed.
I know.
And then I wonder if Trina, because I keep wanting to understand why I just wonder if there was like the lawsuit and she could get money from the city or something, you know, like maybe that's why or did she actually care?
I don't know.
And then what happened to his kids? Did they grow up to like?
I have no clue.
Because that would be a heck of a legacy to overcome.
Yeah. Or to maintain.
Oh, God. I hope his kids are better.
I know.
Than he was.
If you find us on TikTok, let us know.
Oh, man. Yeah, I get comments on TikTok from so many people who are like, I'm
so-and-so's great-granddaughter. I'm so-and-so's niece. I'm so-and-so's... And I'm like, what? Yeah, Megan will send me...
I'll send Kara screenshots because
I have a TikTok, but I don't
child.
Use it. Yeah, and she'll be like, oh my gosh, Kara. And I'm like, what?
And you never know sometimes. It's like, they could totally be lying. Yeah. But it's just the...
We love
if we trust that what the people are saying is true, then it's very like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. That was great.
Riveting.
Yeah, that was a good story. So,
yeah.
Well, that was great. Let's see. Do we have anything business-wise to talk about? No? Just
stay tuned.
Tuesday
going up on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Get
Tuesday.
ready.
Yeah. Thanks for everybody who's interacting with us, sending us stories.
Oh, yeah. It's so much fun.
Which is magicmurdermystery@gmail.com if you want to get in touch. Yep. We always love to hear from you.
We love interacting with you on our Facebook page as well, our Facebook group.
Yeah.
Which is Magic Murder and Mystery podcast discussion group.
That's it.
I got it this time.
It's got a ridiculously long name. You're welcome.
And there's so many questions there's really not that many questions, but there's questions you have to answer.
Yeah. I don't understand the people. I feel sorry for the people who are just sitting there not being let in.
No, but you all are really missing out.
All you got to say is, do you listen to the podcast?
Yes or no? Those of you that say no, I'm questioning.
I have to think it was a mistake. Yeah. And then is your favorite, which is Magic, Murder, or Mystery. That's it. And then you agree to the rules. That's it.
That's it.
It's not hard. It's not a test.
No.
There's no wrong answer.
I do hate tests, but it's okay. We'll be fine.
Okay, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
We love you so much.
So much.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.